Hey guys, good morning. Good morning. Welcome aboard to the Morning Note. My name is Carlos Garcia, founder and CEO of Guard Capital. My apologies today. I'm a little bit under the weather, so my apologies for my raspy voice. I just downed two Mucinex and downed some orange juice. So it's really just a little bit of cough and some mucus, nothing crazy. Work still's got to get done. So rock and roll, baby. Holiday is over, at least for Christmas. Hope everyone had a nice Christmas. Did a video last night previewing the week. So if you're interested in that, take a look at our last video here on our YouTube channel. Glad to be with you this morning. It is December 26th, 2023. It is a Tuesday. Let's go ahead and go around the horn. Again, my apologies for no webcam and my voice. Again, I absolutely feel like crap. So just trying to push through it, guys. It's another day. Dow futures are up 29 points. NASDAQ futures of about 26 points this morning. Pretty much where we were at the open. S&P 500 futures up about 5 points, 0.11%. 10-year Treasury yields just turned green, 3.904%. The Russell outperforming. We talked about that last night as well. 2064 up 0.40%. Crude oil starting to bounce. We talked about that yesterday in that death cross. So again, if you are interested in watching that video, take a look at it. Gasoline futures $2.17. That's been in a death cross on the daily. That's up 1.42%. Gold is slightly green, 2070. Silver futures 24.52, down about 0.18%. Copper futures up 0.52% at $3.92. Let's take a look at Forex land. Euro dollar is flat, 110.18. Dollar yen is down 15 pips, 142.33. 132.12 for the dollar Canadian dollar. That's helpful due to the crude oil. That's down about 53 pips. So usually when oil tends to strengthen, Canadian dollar tends to go higher as well. Pound dollar 127.09. That's up 10 pips. Bitcoin taking a step back on the future side, 42,735. That's up. That's down 2.35%, with Ethereum pulling back at 2248, down 3.21%. Volatility index this morning higher, up 5.6%, with the dollar slightly lower. That's going to be more of a help to stocks than the VIX is a hindrance to it, at least at this point. So the dollar needs to be in focus pretty much going forward every day if we expect stocks to go higher. All right. Good morning, everybody. Again, when it's a short week, we know what it is. We don't do that well. So what we want to do is be careful, place our alerts. Again, I previewed everything yesterday. Let's go ahead and take a look at some pre-market movers. You can see what's moving, what's shaking, what the headlines are. Wasn't tons of headlines this morning, to be completely honest with you guys. So we share that on the Discord. So let me go and read a couple to you while this loads. Here we go. We had the Chicago Fed National Activity Index that came out at 8:30. Case-Shiller Home Price Index. Again, that's real estate homes and pricing. That's at 9. Dallas Fed Manufacturing Survey 10:30, and the Money Supply 1 p.m. A couple of headlines that came out while I take a look at the latest headlines. Let me see if I can get this going. All right. Okay, MasterCard US holiday retail sales grew 3.1%. MasterCard spending pulse holiday season US retail sales 3.1% on a year-over-year basis. Note on September 22nd, you expected holiday sales from November 1st to the 24th was a rise of 3.7%. Spending online is increasing at a faster pace than in store. So that's a big one. I don't know if that tells us really much since it did miss expectations, but it's still growing. So I don't see really any kind of hindrance to the stock market at this point. But some big news here: Intel up 2.2% this morning. Israel grants Intel 3.2 billion for the new new $25 billion chip plant, its biggest ever company investment in the country. That was one of our watch lists that we posted just last night. And again, 49 was the level that I was looking for. Let's go and take a look at the daily. Pretty much breaking out now. If we're looking for a level to target, it'd probably be 52 at this point. Really just have to take a look at the volume at the open. Let's see, again, 48.50, kind of the level we're looking for. 49, we are now above 49, at least pre-market, due to those Israel headlines. So we could always target the 50 calls to about 51.50 or so. So that's kind of what we're looking for. I kind of like 52 as the upside target on Intel. Again, beautiful breakout up on this trend line. filled this gap, and we've played this before. So let's see if Intel keeps the momentum going in a pretty quiet tape. That's pretty much the only kind of big news out there today. All right, let's take a look back here. Let's see if there's anything else. Here we go. Microsoft, OpenAI in talks to raise funding at $100 billion valuation, making the ChatGPT creator one of the world's most valuable startups. Chicago National Activity Index was actually positive, 0.03% versus previous of negative 0.49%. Philly Fed non-manufacturing index was better than expected, plus 6.3 versus the negative 11% prior reading. And Japan planning monopoly rules targeting Google, Apple, Nikkei says. And that's pretty much all I got in terms of headlines. Let's go take a look at some of your questions this morning. Oh, thank you so much. I mean, I'm pretty sure I'll be fine. Things just happen. What can you do? Let's go and take a look here at NVIDIA this morning. That was one of the questions. An hourly, again, pretty flat if you're taking taking a look from where we were 20 days ago to where we are now, 500 being a pretty heavy resistance, as we know. So really all we need to do is break the recent highs of 505.48 and then see what the next target is to the upside in terms of options volume. But again, you're really looking at levels of a breakout, and NVIDIA is going to go higher. It's really just a matter of when at this point. If you're looking for any kind of pullback or retrace, remember the last time we pulled back, we got to around 453. That was that trend line, and it was a beautiful bounce. Maybe we do that again, but I highly expect that NVIDIA to continue climbing above 505 this week would be asking a lot. Again, we do know the Santa rally technically started on Friday. On average, it's a gain of 1.1% on the S&P. So not expecting a Christmas miracle or anything, but again, NVIDIA, it's kind of hard to look at a short side here until you start breaking below moving averages like the 50 DMA 464 or the 20 DMA at least at 477. So if it is going to keep going higher, the problem is that it's just an expensive option to trade. So you just have to be a little careful on that one. So I think there's other alternatives out there, like an Intel semiconductor space. The chart does look a little better than NVIDIA, let's be real. And we got a little bit of a catalyst as well. So we'll see what we get moving forward. Good morning. Good morning. I almost thought that was General Motors, the ticker, but it means good morning. So again, pardon me for my voice this morning. Let's go ahead and bring up some pre-market movers, team. All right, Dow Jones, what's moving and shaking this morning? Intel being the big boy, up 2% this morning at 49. Apple is flat. And again, we talked about Apple yesterday on our video, talking about how they've been kind of underperforming the broader market or broader tech in terms of their mega cap brethren, like a Microsoft and NVIDIA, etc. But Apple at this point, again, we're going to talk about that a little deeper in terms of our end of year videos because we got a lot to go over. And Apple is starting to get expensive if they don't show that growth. So keep an eye on Apple for the next couple of months because, in my opinion, I think 200 might be the resistance, and we'll probably get a pullback and give people an opportunity to buy Apple if they haven't already. But if you own SPY, you're already an Apple shareholder, so it matters. Chevron's up 0.60%, Boeing is down 0.36%, Verizon up 0.19%. So again, the energy majors are up this morning. As I said last night, I think the energy companies are going to pull back. So it doesn't look great, at least for my prediction from last night. But again, the death cross on the daily on crude oil, we need to see that crude needs to prove that we're going to break trend and start bouncing back, and I don't see it. S&P 500 futures, Tesla up 0.69%, AMD 0.40%, Google is up as well. This is why the S&P is rather slightly green. Pfizer up 0.49%. That's a stock I'm going to talk about coming up in 2024 for the top 10 stocks of 2024. So that's going to be on the list, just a heads up. NASDAQ, what else is moving this morning? Micron's up 0.38%. Again, so kind of the semiconductor, discretionary, that's moving. Let's go and take a look at FinViz and we can get an actual better look on the S&P 500 map. Okay, so Amgen's down. That's pretty much one of the really little red spots here. Howmet Aerospace is down today. Boeing is down. Again, that's a name we've been talking about for a while. Tyler Technologies down 5%. So again, very little red spots, some bright green here and there. Constellation Brands is up and Intel. So maybe Constellation Brands is up because of the Corona sales for Christmas. Makes a lot of sense. Probably one of the better beers out there, in my opinion. But you could see in terms of the mega cap tech, Apple's the one kind of holding back. Microsoft's up on that, maybe the ChatGPT, Open AI thing in terms of their valuation. Google's up this morning. Meta, again, you could see the sectors that are moving. Semiconductors, rising tide lifts all boats. Amazon's up, Tesla's up, but Apple, man, if we start getting a pullback at the end of the year or in January, guys, this needs to be on your radar for short. It's Apple, and Apple's expensive, and I love Apple. You know me, but again, in this environment where rates are going to come down, Apple's going to have to show us some growth in order to attract more investment into their stock, which pretty much everyone already owns. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at RTY this morning, kind of running sideways, but you could see on the future side, we're starting to get a bump higher. We're looking for 2070. That's what I'm going to look for the futures guys for more upside. Again, with futures, we have more control. That's what we're looking for. 2070 would be my long, looking for the first target of around maybe 2090 to 2100. And once we get to 2097, 2100, I'll move the stop and see if we could stretch it to 2130. That'd be a great trade. Again, we can hold this even past next week or so as long as we have control. But again, RTY starting to move higher. We want small caps to continue to go higher. Mega caps, we know the drill. They're great, but it has to be small caps that have to move higher. So at least energy stocks are helping. When energy goes up, it does help RTY as well, since their biggest parts in their in their index in terms of sectors is banks and energy, kind of the old money, old school monopoly money, right? Google, again, I'm still waiting for 144 and 27 cents for continuation. Let's see if we get that today. AMD, I'm looking for 143.11 and for continuation there. But that's where we are currently. I wish I had a little more to talk about this morning, but it's rather quiet day after a holiday. Tesla, let's see it. 254.36, like we said. We still got to get above this trend line here. Kind of tough sledding because you're going to have to wait for 280 now because it's just been chopping. Do I expect more upside on Tesla? I do. I do expect more upside, especially towards the tail end of the year. I think Tesla has been rather underperforming the last couple of months, as we know, as November was great for everyone else. Probably Tesla starts catching some bids, maybe some buy the dip boys out there that want to go ahead and add it to their fund. We'll see. But again, you can see this trend line here. That's where we got to get above. So we'll place an alert at 262.12. I don't see us trading this in terms of this week. Again, very short notice and short time period. But 289 has a gap fill on the daily, and that's still shaded. So that's still kind of the money level that we're looking for. And we'll see if we get there. That's kind of what we're watching, guys. Again, my apologies, not really much to talk about this morning. Again, rather flat, green, new all-time highs in terms of S&P futures and new all-time highs in terms of NASDAQ futures. But S&P 500 spot still has its way to go. We still got to get to 4818. Can we get there for all-time highs on S&P? We will see. All right, guys, I'll go and leave it there. I will see you guys on the Discord and the market blog. If anything does change, we will let you know as always. Have a great rest of your morning, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Cheers.